You need to be delusional and obsessed. You want to escape your 9 to 5? Great. But let me tell you something nobody else will tell you. You're going to have to get comfortable becoming obsessed. And if you're not comfortable with that, it's not going to happen for you. I know that sounds extreme. I know that sounds unhealthy, but I've lived it. I've breathed it. I thought about money constantly, personal development, how could I improve, how I could get out faster, what I needed to do, who I needed to meet. And you're going to have to go through all of this too. Whether you're building a monetized personal brand, starting a YouTube channel, or building a business from scratch, it's going to require you to become a different person. You're going to need to rewire everything: your belief system, your resilience, your discipline, your ability to make massive sacrifices, sleeping less, going to bed later, waking up early, working during those breaks. You have to accept all of this. What do you think is the difference between you and those who succeed? Skills? No. Do you think those who succeed are normal people? No, they're obsessed. They are delulu. They are determined and shut out all the noise. This is what gives them the strength of believing in something nobody else sees. But here's the good news. This can all happen between 12 to 36 months. Social media or any business that you build can be incredible. 1 to 3 years of really hard things, but you're building something for you and your family. Now I want you to tap into your why. Why are you actually doing this? You need a fear that's going to push you to do the really hard things, and you need to know a consequence that's so scary that if you don't tap into that why, the consequence will become your reality. Like, what if I don't do this? Is this the life I want my story to end on? What legacy am I going to leave for my family? So I have my fire, I have my why, and I suggest you find yours. Because if you're only doing this because you're driven by money, I promise you now, it will wear thin. It doesn't push you through the hard times. I love making money, but I love it because of what it gives me: flexibility, security, freedom. We're able to do things on our own terms without asking permission. Money allows us to do that. So it's a byproduct. It's not the paper I love, it's what it allows you to do. If you're someone who constantly thinks about money, who's always researching business ideas, asking yourself, what if I did this? You're born for business. You just have to go through a certain amount of failures. I've been failing at YouTube for 6 years until I started figuring it out. An average business owner who ends up being somewhat successful probably already had 3 businesses before. Because you have to trial and error. You have to know what works and what doesn't work, when to cut the strings and move on to the next thing. You learn from failure. Let me be clear, there's no perfect balance when you're building. I never had balance, I just had good management. I have my 9 to 5, plus on weekends I build consistently 3 different YouTube channels. I never give up. Sometimes I finish an 8-hour day and go on editing videos, crafting strategies for 16 hours straight. That's all part of the obsession process. I don't care what this takes, I'm gonna do this. You can't dip your toe in, you have to dive all in. Because with a job, you clock in, you clock out, you're paid, but as soon as you clock out, it stops. With businesses, the more results you deliver, the more people you impact, the revenue goes through the roof. So you can't be average, you have to add so much value. Never be driven purely by money. For myself, I chose a specific area I have a passion for that I will always have value to share for. I knew this was something I was going to stick with, and I knew eventually, because the blueprint is there, it would work. People always say, yeah, there's no guarantees. There aren't. But hey, the day you start seeing those views roll in, the community you've built engaging, everything is going to change. Something will click in your brain, and you will thank me for that day. I was so obsessed about the process, I had my why, I had my fear, my consequence. That's what I mean. You have to become a different person. My mental health has never taken a hit because I haven't had to compromise who I am. What you see is what you get. I'm never bothered if a video doesn't get views because I'm still going to show up. I know everything will come back in waves. So here's what I want you to take away. Become obsessed. Find your why. Know your fear. Understand the consequence if you don't act. Between 12 to 36 months, it's going to be really hard, but you're building something for you. And when you get past that period, it becomes easier. You'll find balance, autonomy, freedom. So ask yourself, what's your why? What's pushing you? What's the consequence if you don't start? Write it down. Look at it every single day. Be obsessed and stay delusional. We'll talk soon. Peace out.